I'm standing in the middle of my apartment, surrounded by half-packed boxes and the ghosts of 17 years. It's been a week since Sarah ended our relationship, a bond that started when I was almost 17 and defined my entire adult life. At 33, I'm untangling a life woven so tightly with hers that I don't know where she ends and I begin. We were codependent teenagers who grew into codependent adults, clinging to each other through petty fights, deep hurts, and a love that turned platonic long ago. She broke it off suddenly in the heat of an argument, and though I'd been thinking of leaving for months, I'm not sure I'd have had the strength to do it. Now, as I dismantle our shared history, I'm drowning in memories more good than I expected, and grappling with a loneliness that feels like it might swallow me whole. Beneath the grief, a quiet anger simmers, not at her, but at the years we wasted, at the way we hurt each other. I want her to see what she's lost, even if I know revenge won't rebuild the person I've yet to discover. We met in high school, two insecure 16-year-olds who found solace in each other's chaos. Sarah was fierce, with a sharp wit and a smile that could make me forget my doubts. I was quieter, a dreamer who hid my fears behind sarcasm. We fell hard, fast, our relationship a refuge from parents who didn't get us, and a world that felt too big. But from the start, it was messy. We were petty, like all teenagers, trading mean-spirited jabs and cruel words in arguments that left scars. We'd say unforgivable things, her calling me weak, me accusing her of being heartless. Then make up, promising to do better. Our brains weren't even fully developed, but the hurt we caused laid the foundation for everything that followed. As we grew older, we outgrew the petty fights, maturing into adults who knew better. But the damage was done. We'd traumatized each other, feeding each other's deepest insecurities, her fear of being unloved, my dread of being inadequate. Our relationship became a cycle of hurt and revenge, each of us lashing out to protect ourselves, then clinging tighter to avoid losing the only thing we knew. We were codependent, neither of us understanding who we were outside of us. I don't think I've ever known myself, not really. Sarah was half my life, my entire adulthood, and without her, I'm a stranger to myself. It wasn't all bad. We grew together in ways that mattered. We navigated college, first jobs, moves across cities. We celebrated birthdays, mourned losses, built a life that looked good on paper. But by the 10-year mark, something shifted. The romance faded, replaced by a platonic comfort we mistook for love. We stopped having sex years ago, our intimacy reduced to routine hugs and shared Netflix binges. We talked about marriage but never followed through, both of us only children who guarded our independence even as we clung to each other. We'd check out, emotionally drifting, but neither of us wanted to admit it was over. We were too scared of what came next, too nostalgic for the kids who'd fallen in love. The end came suddenly, a week ago, in the middle of an argument about something trivial, dishes maybe, or whose turn it was to pay the electric bill. Sarah's voice turned sharp and she said, "I can't do this anymore, Ryan. We're done." I froze, her words a blade through my chest. I'd been thinking of leaving for months, turning the idea over in therapy, knowing we wanted different things. She craved adventure. I wanted stability, but I couldn't let go. Part of me wonders if she was bluffing, hoping I'd beg her to stay. But I didn't. I nodded, said, "Okay," and walked away, choosing to take her seriously because it's what we both need. It was the bravest thing I've ever done and the most painful. This past week, I've started moving out of our shared apartment, a process that feels like dismantling my own history. Every box I pack is a memory. The lamp we bought at a flea market, the photos from our trip to the coast, the couch where we'd laugh until we cried. I've broken down more times than I can count, sobbing over moments I'd forgotten, more good than I realised. The hardest part is our friends. We were so codependent that we share the same group, no separate circles to retreat to. I see them, and I see her, their careful neutrality a reminder of how intertwined we were. I've apologised to her, not for her sake, but for mine, needing her to know I see the ways I hurt her, the times I shut down, the insecurities I projected. She's not ready to admit her role, her emotional immaturity, a shield I can't blame her for. She's been focused on us her whole adult life, just like me. But I hope, for her sake, she can face it someday, because I know I can't move on unless I accept my share of the blame. The pain is a living thing, curling around my heart, making it hard to breathe. I miss her. Not the romance, but the familiarity, the comfort of someone who knew me better than I know myself. But beneath the grief, anger simmers, at the years we wasted, at the way we let hurt define us, at her for pulling the plug so suddenly. I want her to feel the weight of what we've lost, to see the man I could become without her holding me back. Not a cruel revenge, like airing our dirty laundry or cutting her out of our friends' lives. No. I want something subtler, something that make her pause. I imagine sending her a letter months from now, not to beg her back, but to share who I've become. I'm finding myself, Sarah, and it's because we let go. I hope you find you too. Or maybe I'd post a photo online, me thriving, maybe travelling, something she always wanted, captioned, learning who I am one step at a time. I know she'd see it, and it'd sting, even just a little, that I'm not the broken man she left behind. The thought brings a fleeting thrill, but it's not enough. Revenge isn't about hurting her, it's about proving I'm more than the codependent boy I was. I grab my journal, the one I started in therapy years ago. Writing has been my lifeline, a way to untangle the mess in my head. I've dabbled in stories before, crafting suspenseful tales inspired by the thrillers I read to escape. But tonight, I need something different. I start a new story. Not a letter to Sarah, but a fictionalized version of this pain. A way to turn my hurt into something I can control. I call my character Nate, a version of myself, but braver, more self-aware. In the story, Nate's lifelong partner leaves him, their codependent bond crumbling under the weight of old hurts. But Nate doesn't cling. He rebuilds, quietly, methodically, discovering who he is outside their shadow. Nate's revenge isn't loud, it's strategic. He doesn't beg his ex to stay, instead he moves out, starts therapy, finds passions he'd buried. He sends her a single, anonymous gift, a book they loved as teens, with a note. We were kids then. I'm someone new now. He builds a life so vibrant it overshadows her absence, sharing glimpses online that he knows she'll see, him at a writing workshop laughing with new friends. The suspense builds as she grows restless, haunted by his silence, by the life she could have had. She tries to reach out, but Nate's moved on, his number changed, his heart no longer hers to break. He doesn't destroy her, he lets her own regret do the work, watching from a distance as her new path feels emptier than she expected. I pause, my pen hovering over the page. Is this too much? Am I writing a fantasy to escape my own grief? Maybe. But it feels good, like I'm reclaiming a piece of myself. I keep writing, the story growing richer, more intricate. Nate's ex starts noticing cracks in her new life, the freedom she craved feeling hollow, replaced by the weight of what she left behind. My pages fill, each word a release for my anger, my sorrow, my need to be seen. Hours pass, the apartment quiet except for the hum of the city outside. I close the journal, exhausted but lighter. Writing Nate's story isn't just therapy. It's a mirror showing me I'm stronger than I feel right now. I don't need to send Sarah that letter or post that photo. My revenge is in my resilience, in building a life that proves I'm enough without her. I glance at the boxes, the remnants of our life. Tomorrow I'll keep packing, keep moving forward. Healing will take time. Trust is fragile, and the scars we left on each other, those teenage hurts, the years of codependency will linger. I've done work in therapy to grow emotionally, ironically, to keep her, but I see now it was for me. I have more to do, and I couldn't have done it with her. Dating again feels impossible, the thought of loving someone new a risk I can't face yet. But as I look around the apartment, the journal on the table, the memories I'm packing away, the life I'm starting to rebuild, I see proof of my strength. I survived half a life with her, survived this breakup. I'll survive this. One day I'll write a new story, one where love doesn't end in nostalgia, where my heart finds itself.